Spydahs Web, and here is this week's Q&A. Now, what's happened this week is we've had, with Ali, a very busy week, so I've not been able to get any videos up. We couldn't get anything done yesterday. Ali wasn't feeling too well, and today she's had to go out with her mum. So what she's done is she's emailed me the questions. I've printed them off just before I've started on here now, so I've not actually taken any time to look at the questions. But without further ado, and with plenty of orange, let's go with it, shall we? Question number 1 comes from Idic Beer. Nice answers. I would suggest just the comment section is fine for questions. I was wondering if you use a notebook when you paint to keep track of the colours you use for models when painting units rather than single miniatures. No, not really. I've never have done that. I tend to sit down when I'm painting units and just painting the whole unit. I tend to do them all similar colours anyway. There may be differences in the shade, in the differences in the tone. It doesn't make any difference to me, unless of course obviously it's something like a Space Marine Legion where everything has to be the same shade and colour, and then I just use the bog standard colours. I don't make notes or anything. I prefer doing things quite free and easy. But what I tend not to do is do a lot of units that have a set colour scheme anymore. I just find it a bit repetitive. I prefer doing things that have different colours and something I can play about with. So I hope that's answered your question. I don't use a notebook or plan anything really. I just get on with painting. Next, G. Guinan. Hi, right. First question from you. Welcome to this channel. And you've said, I have noticed you only use Citadel paints for your miniatures. Is this because you've tried other paints and not liked them, or is it because you just prefer Citadel paints? Actually, it's neither. All I've ever used is Citadel paints. I'm just used to them. I've not tried any other paints. It's not because I prefer Citadel, it's because old habits are hard to break, I suppose. They're just easily available. I don't have to order things online and wait for them to turn up. If I need anything, I can just go out and get them. Boring answer, I know, but that's the truth. Thanks for your question. I hope I've answered it okay for you. I look forward to hearing from you again. And now I think we move on to emails. Yes, we do. Carl Mitchell. It's the Devon postman. Right, matey. And Carl puts, hi Ali. Enjoyed last night's Q&A. Another question for Steve and yourself for next time. Well, I'm going to answer for myself, and I'll ask this question to Ali on Monday, and she can answer that for herself during the Chatterbruna Big Black Dog. Okay? This one is a topical one. What are your views on staying in or out of the EU? If this is too personal, then please ignore the question. Yeah, it's not too personal at all. My views on whether we should be in or out of Europe is quite basic. Out. I think we're just, this government has decided, well, the government over the past few years since the EU has become the so-called powerhouse that it supposedly is, has basically hemorrhaged money out of this country to other countries, to the benefits of those other countries and to the what's the word I'm looking for? To the ruin of this country. We're concentrating too much on looking after everywhere else than bothering about our own. As far as I'm concerned, we're being dictated to by other countries of what we can do in this one. That's not right. Our forefathers didn't win 2 world wars to give up the country to the Germans, the Italians, the French, the Spanish, and whatever else, whichever other countries are involved with the EU. So that's as far as it goes for me. All this scaremongering about the trade and this, that and the other. The Germans aren't going to stop selling the English or the British their Mercedes, their Volkswagens, their BMWs. We're still going to buy them. They're still going to sell them to us. We might be able to build up our industry again and hopefully get our businesses back up and running properly, because at the moment every industry that Britain had is now owned by the French, the Germans, the Polish, and this, that and the other. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not being funny with other countries. I just think that Britain should be, British industry in Britain should be British. Spanish industry in Spain should be Spanish. French industry in France should be French. German industry in Germany should be German. You know, that's how I think. I just seriously believe that we are getting walked over by other countries. It's not right. So that's my view anyway. So I hope that answered your question. As I said, I will pose that question again to Ali during our Chatter Brewing a Big Black Dog episode on Monday, and she can answer for herself. I know what she's going to answer because I know she's going to vote, but I'm not speaking for her. She can answer that question herself. So I hope that, as I say, hope that answered your question. Pete from Mini Warzone. Right, matey? Hi guys, hope all is well. I have a question that you can both answer. Okay, so I'm going to pose this one as well. Although saying that, I know what Ali's going to answer. What was the last book that you read, and was it any good? Thanks as always, and keep up the great work. The last book I read was a book called Exoskeleton. I'm reading Exoskeleton 2, and I cannot for the life of me remember the author. I really enjoyed Exoskeleton. Exoskeleton 2 is... I'm plodding through, I just can't seem to concentrate on it. But it's a totally different style of book. I really enjoyed it. It was a bit in parts, because it's basically about a guy who is accused of a crime, put into prison, and then signs an agreement that he would go into this test program for a year, and after that his conviction would be quashed, and he would come out of this program a better human being for it. What they don't tell the fellow is the fact that the program is basically 12 months of torture. I'm not going to say any more about it, but I really enjoyed it. Exoskeleton 2 follows directly on from it, but as I said, there's a lot more into it now, and I don't know whether it's my concentration level or what, but I just can't seem to get into it. I keep reading and then stopping and reading and stopping. You know, I'm beginning to lose track with it, unfortunately. But they are good books. As I said, I can't remember who wrote them, but what I will do is put the author's name along the bottom, around about here. So there. Right. Finally. I'm not sure whether you want this one to be read. Let's see. It doesn't say. So, with it being an email, and you've not said whether you want to be anonymous or not, I'm just going to say it's from Chris. You'll know who it is, and nobody else will. So, the question was, hi there, or the email is, hi there. First, I would like to say that your YouTube channel is very cool. I love the House of Hell playthrough. We haven't had a chance, as I said, to do anything more on that one. We were hoping to get some more done this week, but unfortunately, due to quite a busy week during the day, we haven't managed to get anything done, but hopefully we can get that sorted next week and do part 2. But we have a couple of questions. Question 1. If you had to go to a desert island and could only take one gaming system, which would it be and why? I would take my Pandemic. The reason being, I've got all the expansions in one box. It's high up enough as being one of my favourite games, and I can play it over and over and over again. So that would be the reason why. I've got everything in one box. The base game, the In the Lab expansion, On the Brink expansion, the Hinterlands expansion, is it? All of them are in one box, so that's the reason I would take that. I can play whichever variants I want, and I can play solo as well. Yeah, I'll go with that. And it's all in, like a smallish box. I don't have to find a large amount of space to play. So that's part 1 answered. Hope that's answered it well enough. Number 2, if they made a movie of your life, who would play you and what genre would it be? Man, that stumped me. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to say to be a comedy, but a lot of things that's gone on has been far from comedic. Not really bad enough to be a tragedy. Certainly not a horror. Definitely not sci-fi. Somewhere between a tragedy and a comedy, I would say. It's not strong enough to be complete tragedy where everybody's crying about, but like a very light comedy, I think. I don't know. I don't really know. Who would play me? Is there anyone bald, fat and ugly who'd play me? To be honest, I don't know actors' names now. I really don't know the names of actors. The only ones I know are older than me anyway, so that wouldn't work. I wouldn't know. I don't really know anybody other than the action hero kind of thing, like Jason Statham and what's his name? Oh, I don't know. I suppose what we could do is through different stages of life. It'll have to be different people. I say, without knowing, without being too well up on actors. I couldn't think. How I am now, it'd have to be someone really, really silly. Not completely, shall we say, psycho, but just someone who's got a really silly sense of humour. Lee Evans, someone like that. Because I know he's done. He'd have to put a bit of weight on. Younger in 20s. Matt Smith, someone like that. Obviously, get a bit of hide the chin a little bit, I think. Because I used to be really skinny. But since I turned 30, my metabolism seemed to have slowed down, and the weight started piling on. I'm not sure, but I don't really know whether I can give a definite answer to this. So I'm going to have to leave that one, I think. We've got 2 suggestions there anyway. Yeah, so I would say someone like Matt Smith for when I was younger, and who did I say? Lee Evans now. That's all I can think. So that's it from this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's late, and I'm sorry we've not been able to do it as I'd hoped to do it, with Ali asking me the questions and me just sitting here answering them, but hopefully we'll get back to normal next week. So if you have any questions for next week, please either pop them in the comments below or send the email to the appropriate email address, which is running along the bottom of the screen here and in the description box below. You can do either one. If we do get any messages or do I get any comments in here, Ali will make a copy of them, hide them somewhere, and then delete them from the message thread. They haven't gone anywhere. I haven't deleted them for being funny. They've just been seen by me. I'll have seen them, I'll realise which video they're from, and I won't look at them. And then Ali will come along, as I say, copy them into another, copy them onto her computer, and then delete them from mine, so I won't see them. So it all becomes a bit of a surprise for me. Anyway, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm hoping to get some more videos up and running fairly soon. As I say, at the moment, it's been rushed off my feet. Everything seems to be happening at once. But until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.